Hi, and thanks for joining. I'm going to be showcasing some of the products that I received from Spellbinders through their Sealed by Spellbinders collection. I've made 5 beautiful cards I can't wait to show you. Let's get started. First, I have this die that is called Sealed Ginkgo. So this is a ginkgo flower, and then that also has ginkgo leaves that go with it. And what I did was I was looking for a certain color of green to match the stencil work that I'm going to be doing. So I went ahead and I used my Catherine Puller inks and created my own color of colored paper. So the first color that I swiped across the paper is Hot Tub. And like I said, I was looking for a certain color on my ginkgo leaves, and I just didn't have the right matching paper. All right, so I went ahead and I did that, and then I also did the same thing with the color in the park. So here you see, here are some that I die cut off camera and I used in the park. In the same method, I just swiped my paper and created my own colored paper so that it would match perfectly with my ink blending. I also did some of these flowers using my paper that I do have in my stash, okay? And then these little leaves are also part of this die set. It's called Sealed Ginkgo, and it's part of the Sealed by Spellbinders release. So you've got lots that you can work with here in creating some foliage for your card. All right, so off camera, I used the new hot foil plate, which is called Geometric Flower Background. And I went ahead and foiled several different colors of foil. I used the pretty Aurora color. I used rose gold. I used purple and regular gold and sky bright and teal. So I used a lot of pretty colors of foil, and foil plate works very well. And now I'm showing you the layered geo flower stencil. There are 4 stencils. The stencils are marked on the bottom as to their numbers, and that way you know which order to use them in. And then the foil background that I have here is like a blue foil from Spellbinders. This is the set of 4 layered geo flower stencils. So there are 4 stencils. They're numbered at the bottom, so you'll know which ones to use in which order. And they layer perfectly over top the geometric flower background that I hot foiled onto my paper. Okay, the first color is Oh Boy, which is light blue. And while I am using my brush to color in my stencil here, I wanted to let you know that I will have in the description box linked below all the products that I used today, as well as my affiliate links. If you are interested in any of these products or anything else available through the companies, you can go ahead and check out my link, and I'll get a small commission. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help me if you use my links, just for me to keep my YouTube channel going. All right, I'm just going to fast forward to the next color here. Okay, now you see I've got it all stenciled in. I'm going to remove that first layer. We've got beautiful blue as a starting color. And now I've got stencil number 2. And I'm using my Wendy Vicky Make Art Station, which is a magnetic board. And the brown mat is a Teflon baking sheet that my friend Tracy from Not Afraid of Colors sent me. And I use it to help keep everything in place. The next color I'm going to use is Minted, which is a light green. Now, as far as getting good coverage on your paper, you want to make sure that your ink pad is juicy, not overflowing with ink, but you know, has a nice bit of ink in it, and it really does go quickly if you've got a juicy ink pad. And you want to make sure that stencil stays in place and it does not move. And so you'll see that I'm using my magnets to help me keep this stencil in place. All right, let's go ahead and show you the next layer. All right, I'm going to reveal this color, this layer. I hope you don't mind that I'm fast forwarding through some of this in the interest of time. Oh, that looks so cool. I love the geometric pattern. For layer 3, which is the dots, I'm going to use Mardi Gras, which is a deep teal color. And these are the circles that connect in between the geometrical pattern of the hot foil plate. Okay, again, I fast forwarded that, and now I'm going to reveal layer 3, again using Mardi Gras ink. Any color inks that you have would work. And then the final color I'm going to use is called Melon Ice, and I'm going to be using the squares. These are the squares that are the inside of the geometric flower background. Again, this stencil set is called Layered Geo Flower Stencils. And Melon Ice is a nice yellow-green color, so I think it's really going to pop. All right, so let's go ahead and fast forward. Here's what it looks like after I did the ink blending, and it does really pop. What perfect combo, I think. Those colors go so well together. I love the light blue and light green colors together. The teal in the middle. This one is probably one of my favorites. So again, that was Oh Boy, Minted, Mardi Gras, and Melon Ice. And I'm just going to go ahead and use a A2 die. This is the Essentials Rectangles dies. Actually, fluted classic rectangles, but I'm not using the fluted die. I'm just going to use the largest die in this die set to cut my panel nice and straight. Okay, I cut that off camera and I set that aside. Now I want to do a purple and pink panel. So this color is Catherine Puller. It's called Flirty Fuchsia. And this is for layer number 1. All right, I went ahead and filled that in, and now I'm going to reveal it to you. Okay, we've got our first layer down. Let's go in for layer number 2. Layer number 2, I'm using 16 candles, which is a slightly less intense purple. Flirty Fuchsia is a very strong and vibrant. This one is just a little bit more on the pastel side, but still a nice bright purple. As I completed my panels, I just took a dark color and a lighter color for layers number 1 and number 2, and look how awesome that looks with those 2 shades of purple. I'm really pleased with how that turned out. And I found that just taking one color that's dark and one color that's light, but the same exact color, like whether it be purple, blue, or green, I found that was a really good way to do this. Okay, now I'm going in with the color Party Dress, which is very much a fuchsia pink color. And that's for the circles that connect the flower and the geometrical pattern. And what I'm doing with this, I'm using dark pink for the circles and then lighter pink, which is going to be the final layer which will be It's a Girl, and now I'll use that for my squares. So again, I am currently filling in layer 3, the circles, with Party Dress, which is a nice bright fuchsia pink. And this ink pad is really juicy, and I got a little bit of seepage underneath the stencil. That's one thing you have to be careful about. You don't want your ink to be too wet. You definitely don't want it to be dry, because then you won't be able to get a nice blend. You just have to find that right setting. And then we'll go ahead and reveal this. That looks great in between this purples. I love it. And here we go with layer number 4. This is the final layer. This is the lightest color. It's called It's a Girl. It's a very light pink. Fast forward so we can see the final result, and I'll go ahead and pull that stencil off. Speaking of revealing the color light pink, we had a gender reveal moment at Thanksgiving yesterday. My niece is going to be having a girl, and she allowed her little 13-month-old daughter to be the one to reveal by a cupcake. She opened up the cupcake and it was pink inside. That's my first gender reveal party that I've ever been to, so that was fun. And we're going to be so excited to have another great niece. All right, so I went off camera and I found some foils that I felt matched the foil that I used for these panels. This color combination, I didn't do it on camera, but it does use some of the same colors that I used on the first card, but I did change it up a little bit so that it's more of the greens and the yellow. But I will have the color combination listed in the description box below in case any of you want to recreate this with the exact colors. And then when I'm done putting that tape on it, I'll go ahead and adhere it to a white A2 card base. And then later I'll finish embellishing it and putting the ginkgo flowers on top, as well as the wax seal. But here I did the same thing with the blue panel. I found some light blue foil that matched, and the purple as well. You could also do pink foil if you don't have purple. I was toying around with the idea of putting the frame on top, but then I decided no, this looked too pretty. Cover it up with a big bulky frame. Okay, we're going to put that onto the purple foil. Next, I'm going to share with you these 2 wax seals that I purchased with my own money. One says happy birthday, and the other is a mandala. I figured I would get the most use out of those, but Spellbinders has a wide variety of really awesome wax seal stamps, and I will tell you that theirs are far superior than any that you can get, for example, online or at a big box store. I'm really impressed with the quality and the detail and the weight. It's a nice weighty wooden handle. It's not flimsy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just real high quality. And then over to my right, I have 3 different color sort of metallic markers. I have silver, gold, and rose gold metallic markers. You can use those to color in your wax seals after you stamp them. I do not have any tea lights, candles. Just haven't had a chance to buy any of those. So I'm going to just use my heat gun to heat up my wax when I put it in my little spoon. You want to get a spoon that's nice and deep. I have another spoon that is not very good. It's more like a tablespoon or a teaspoon you would get from the kitchen, and that doesn't work out very well. You definitely want to get like one of these spoons that has like a deep spoon, almost like a ladle. And then you just pour it out on your mat and you just go ahead and stamp it. Hold it for a few seconds. Sometimes it pops right off. Sometimes you have to leave it and pull it off once it cools. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some pink in with the purple. And this is how I heat it. I use my heat gun. I thought the pink and purple would look good together. I will go ahead and give it a swirl with my pokey tool, which there will be wax on that when you're done, but you can wipe it off. And so I'm going to go ahead and pour that. And use the other stamp for that wax seal. Okay, here's my my mandala. Looks really good. I'll go ahead and color that with the silver metallic marker. It always is a good idea to color on a piece of paper first. Sometimes the ink really comes gushing out. You want to just be careful you don't make a mess. And I think that little bit of silver really helps that to show off. The other one says happy birthday. And again, I'm going to use my silver foil marker, not foil, but metallic, and color that in. It says happy birthday, and there it has a flower. Okay, and that's like a pinkish purple. I did heat my spoon up and I let the purple get warm, and then I used a microfiber towel and I wiped the purple wax out of my spoon. I wanted it to be clean, and now I'm going in with yellow because you will see that off camera I created some panels that are yellow and pink. So this gold is going to look really nice with that. Actually, I feel that having maybe 4 to 5 wax seals is what I need in order to get a good impression. Some of you might be able to do this with only 3, but I have to have at least 4. Now this is a yellow that I have white mixed in. Kind of reminds me of egg yolk color. But I'm going to go ahead and pour that out and then stamp it. Yeah, you want to hold it down pretty firmly. And there's the mandala. Now, if you don't like how it turns out, you can take a pair of scissors and cut it up and put it right back into your spoon and melt it right back down again. So that one I didn't like so much. I didn't feel like it was round enough. I feel like some of the image got cut off. And so I just cut those little pieces up. I cut that wax seal up with a pair of scissors and I remelted it down again. I think I have to have at least 4 wax melts in order to get a good impression. 5 is even better for me. That one turned out really good. I had to let that cool first before I can pick it up. Okay, so I grabbed my panels that I created, and now you can see all the colors that I created. And I'm just trying to make sure that I have the right color wax seals that match, which I feel like I do. And then for the purple, I've got these 2 colors to pick from. So I need something to go with my blues and my greens. All right, so I have some teal colored wax in the spoon, and I'm going to want to melt that with my heat gun. I melted it, and now I am making my impression. So now I'm going to add some white to that little bit of teal. Actually, I put 4 white and 1 teal. So I've got a nice full cup there. Then I swirl it around, and that way I have a marbled look. And I just go in and make sure I have it all heated up nice. I feel like the hotter I get it, the easier it is to pour out and the better quality impression I get. So you'll see that first one that is teal is the mandala, and this is going to be the happy birthday. I like those. Those look great. And then I have this gold metallic marker. I'm going to go ahead and color the mandala in with that. And also this one says happy birthday. I'm going to color that in too. I did have a good time playing with the wax seals. I did purchase the wax seals and the wax stamps with my own money, but the other products, including the hot foil plate and the ginkgo dies and the layered geo flower stencils, were sent to me as a courtesy from Spellbinders. So I really do think these products came together well together. Now I'm just, I got glue everywhere, you guys. Look at that boo-boo. I was so frustrated. I kept it in though so you could see it. It was just like a mess. I had cleaned the tip of my glue tip out, and I guess there was still some water in there. And when I went to get it out of my, tip, it came out flying everywhere. So my cards look like they have a little bit of a white spot on them. That's from the water reacting with the ink. I was so disappointed, but I had come this far. There's no way I was going to start over at this point. So there you go. I kept one of those, boo-boo moments in my video. All right. So a lot of people have asked, how do you apply the wax seals? So I just use a lot of glue on the back, and I just hold it firmly for a few seconds. And then if it seems like it's going to start coming up, I will add the glue sort of like behind this section that's popping up and off of the paper. And once I have a little bit of glue in those spots, it stays down on the card panel without any trouble. Oh, by the way, for this card, I did use the fluted rectangle dies, and I cut the rectangle out so that it has that fluted edge. And then I used gold foil cardstock as a matte layer, and the actual frame is also gold foil cardstock, so it comes together very well. All right, now I'm going to put together these blue and green, the blue and the green card, and I'm just using 2 of the ginkgos. These are the ones that I cut out with my cardstock. Actually, this one that I'm putting down right now is one that I used ink to create. So we've got light and dark together. Then we've got this nice blue wax seal that says happy birthday. And that's a good looking card. It would be great for a masculine birthday card, I think. Now I'm going to do the same thing with our green. I've got the 2 different colors that I cut out with cardstock. Dark green and then like an army green. And I'm just going to layer them on top of each other. And then I have a wax seal that's got a green sort of look to it. There we have those 2 cards. And we've got our purple one too that I completed off camera. If you stay tuned to the end, I will have a still photos of all the cards that I created. But I did pull out a previously released stamp set from Spellbinders that is still available, and it's actually on sale as of today. And the name of this stamp set is New Start, and it features 3 butterflies and several inspirational sentiments, including "You are one of a kind, do small things with great love, Can't wait to see how far you fly. Each day is a new start, and follow your dreams. So I inked it with the Nocturne Clair, VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, which is a dark black pigment ink. And then I just used clear embossing powder. I also stamped the butterflies on vellum. This is a heavy duty vellum. And I used VersaFine Nocturne Clair, and I heat embossed these butterflies. Now I'm just coloring them in, and then I can use them on the front panel of my last card. Okay, so I grabbed the sentiment from the Love Never Fails, one of the sentiments, and I grabbed Sending Prayers, and I heat embossed that with black embossing, and then I used my Copic marker to color in just this little section, and then I'll just use that color as my matte layer because it matches very well with my foil and ink blended frame around this gold foil panel. All right, I'm going to grab my ink blending brush, and I'm going to just do some ink blending on the panel that says Sending Prayers. I'm just using whatever color orange that is left on my brush. This is the same brush that I used to ink blend the panel. I will list the colors that I used in the description box below for this pink and yellow panel. I didn't video it. I just have it. I did take a photo of it for my blog, so I would know what colors that I used. So I'm just going to use a little bit of foam tape, pop up this sentiment panel, grab my little pokey tool that my friend Chow made me. It's so beautiful. And go ahead and adhere this to my card panel. I'll just use some glue and adhere this down. And then I just have to adhere my butterflies. And I am going to also use this liquid glue for my butterflies. Yeah. So this is just an example of what you can do. So I cut the panel that I hot foiled with a rectangle die, and then I had this space around sort of like a frame, and I don't like throwing them away. I like to use them to make sort of a bonus card. And these vellum butterflies are so pretty. And I like this technique. I'm just taking my little stylus and I'm just rolling that. It's a heavy duty vellum and it's rolling real nice. And just it helps to make those wings just pop up off the card panel. And then I'm going to grab my gems from Spellbinders. These are the gold crystals, and I'm going to add some embellishments on. Oh, these are so pretty and sparkly. I'll just add a couple embellishments to the front of this panel and also to the butterflies themselves to give them a little bit of sparkle too. The hardest thing is getting the packaging open. And once I get this open, you'll see me just go ahead and slide. I just usually slide my little gems right off the plastic. It's easier for me that way. These rhinestones are beautiful. They really have a great amount of sparkle. They just really add just a real pretty sparkly touch to this card. And here are my finished cards, everybody. So I've got 5 different cards, and 2 of them are pinks, and I guess you would call these the pinks and the golds. Okay, and then you can see how that looks with that wax seal and the yellow wax seal. Then that one has the gold foil. This one is purples and pinks. Probably my favorite because I love purple. I didn't put a sentiment on this one. It's all occasion. I could put the sentiment on the inside. But these actually are probably very close to my favorites as well, especially the blue one. They're green. The green one has the mandala hot wax. You know what I'm talking about, wax seal. And then this one has the blue wax seal. And it says, happy birthday. But I didn't use any kind of marker to color it in. I just left it plain. There you have it. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, I'd love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. I would love it if all of you would like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Here are some still photos of the finished cards. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and ring the bell so that you're notified of all my upcoming videos. Please leave a comment below letting me know which card you like the best. I read each and every one of your comments, and your comments mean so much to me. Thanks so much for watching. Have a hopeful day. Bye-bye.